This is where days are made or broken. Either I keep going with my schedule and everything goes great, or I'm in too much pain and I go back to sleep. This is where I usually just sleep. That's my air purifier, by the way. It's noisy. Yeah. The first thing I usually do is hydrate. Then I take my phone and my day planner and I make sure I'm not forgetting anything. And once I have a clearer idea of what I'm going to accomplish in the day and exactly how I'm going to tackle it, at that point I usually can muster up the will to get out of bed. The curtains are open, the sun is shining, I'm in an immense amount of pain. So at this point, I always have to do my physical therapy exercises, and unfortunately, I am in the process of recovering from a car accident, and it's taking a while. It's taking much longer than it would have if there wasn't a global pandemic and I could actually go to the doctor's office as I need to get adequate care, but you know, people feel oppressed by a mask, so instead we're screwing over the entire planet. But I mean, like, who wants adequate health care when I could just put this resistance band on my door and use this every day? Good enough, right? This whole process takes 15 to 30 minutes depending on how cooperative my muscles are. This is usually the part where I do yoga. And what's funny about my yoga routine is it's been pretty much the same for years. And when I moved to LA from San Francisco, I just started watching videos from the same yogi that I used to go to in San Francisco. Yoga usually takes me about half an hour. Some days I do less, some days I do more. If I have to use my foam roller, then I'm doing less yoga. But generally, about 45 minutes to an hour of my morning has to be dedicated to getting this semi-functioning. Close enough for government work. And there's something I realized about my morning routine recently, and that is that we tend to think of things like yoga and these morning routines as me time. And we tend to mistake these things that are essential to our survival, to just living, as being me time, as being something optional, when really it's not. It's just the bare minimum, and it can feel kind of selfish sometimes because it can take so much energy and so many resources, but you have to do it, and you can't pour from an empty cup and all that stuff. By the way, this shirt is from Brett Manning, and she is an artist on Etsy. I will link her in the description below because I love her artwork, and I love that I'm able to get clothes with her artwork on them. So at this point in the day, I usually will open up my curtains as if it wasn't bright enough in here already, let the sun shine in, and then make the bed. It kind of tells my body the option to sleep has expired and it is time to get up and make something of your life. I have a very particular way of putting the pillows in order on the bed, and I realize this is one of my many neuroses, but it just makes me feel better. So at this point, I usually come into the kitchen. Mike has been working from home for how long?
Almost 6 months.
It's been a minute.
5 months. It'll be 5 months and 3 days.
It's a long time. My Vitamix basically lives here on the counter, and the pitcher just is cleaned and left in the sink drying, so it's ready to go for me every morning, which is great because I eat the same fucking thing every morning. I freeze my bananas and I keep them ready to go. I put them in 2 plastic bags, otherwise they get like squishy and weird, but I let them get nice and ripe first, and then I put them in here. And this way, I don't have to add any kind of sweetener to my morning shake. And honestly, this part can be a real pain in the butt because Mike is working 10 feet away, but we live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so we're doing the best we can. This is some oat milk that I made. So I make different kinds of plant-based milks, and I usually make like one every other day. Hagrid, do you mind? Be quiet. So today, it is my homemade oat milk. Now, I have all different kinds of, that is not something I want in there. I have all different kinds of supplements and powders. I usually put a little bit of this gelatinized and organic maca powder, a little energy boost. Put that in every day. Right now, I'm using the Plant Your Day from Hush and Hush. This is vegan and it's chocolate and vanilla flavor. This has 17 grams of protein in 2 scoops, which is amazing. Last, I'll put in some chia seeds. And I think I need to add a little more liquid. We'll see. Fire it up. Oh yeah. I usually grab my morning supplements, put all of this stuff away, and go back to the bedroom so that I'm not listening to my husband's work calls. So at this point in the day, it is starting to get a little bit brighter outside. It's getting a little bit hotter in the apartment, so I like to finish up all of my morning chores as quickly as possible, and that way I'm not toiling away in the heat. But first I have to get this down. Side note, this video is not sponsored. Hush and Hush did send me their protein powder, and a lot of other brands just send me stuff on a regular basis. But if I don't like it, I don't put it in a video, and if I do like it, I do put it in a video, and that's that. I like to spend about 30 minutes every morning doing chores, and that way it never gets too out of control. I usually throw in 2 or 3 hours on the weekend for the big projects that I can't really get to during the week, and this way I don't feel like I'm spending my entire life cleaning, and nothing really gets that dirty. It's a win-win. Now that I'm ready to get clean after all of that choring, I'm going to use my Hair La Vie shampoo and conditioner, which is a great line that I love for regrowing my thin hair because I'm sickly. I think we all know that. And then I'm going to follow it up with my Yonko Paris gel cleanser and Florona scrub for my face. Now that I'm done with that, I am going to dry my hair with this t-shirt, and I'll be back when it's mostly dry. Now that my hair is about 25% dry, I usually come back into my bedroom with a hot washcloth and I steam my face. This is just so I can open up my pores again because I don't like to put on my facial products before I do my hair, otherwise I just sweat them all off. So now that my skin has its pores open again and it's ready for my products, I'm going to use my Yonko Age Defense Serum, and I'm just using a little bit of this all over my face. And I just press it into my skin. Then, while my washcloth is still nice and hot, I put that on. And it helps it soak into my skin. Next, I'm gonna put some products on my chest. No, it's not that exciting. I'm gonna use some of my Clarins Extra Firming Youthful Lift and mix that with a little bit of this Radiance Plus Golden Glow Booster. And this is basically just like a do-it-yourself tanner? Do-it-yourself tanner? Whatever. So I'm just taking a little bit of this in the palm of my hand. And you guys, I hate tan lines. I hate tan lines. For one, a tan doesn't look good on me anyway. I just don't have one of those complexions. I'm very yellow underneath. So when I tan, I just look green, I guess. So I have tan lines on my chest because I was doing my workouts for my cardio in the morning, which required kind of going all over the place. And even though I wear SPF 110 on my body, it wasn't enough. So I have terrible tan lines all over here, and I just like to put this any place where I have that nice pale skin. And this is kind of just like a preventative firming for this whole area because it's a place that a lot of women neglect. And I feel like most necklines for shirts, you see just as much of your collarbone and neck as you do of your face. So why not treat it just as well as you treat that skin? Next, I'm using my Saturday Skin Wide Awake, and this, I always have fluff from my cat and it drives me insane. Ah, you guys. So I'm just taking a little bit of that and I'm pressing it around my eyes. I never like to pull on this skin. I mean, I don't like to pull on any of my skin, but especially not the delicate skin around my eyes. I like to just press it on there, and you know, it seems strange, but it really does work better than just putting it on your skin and leaving it. And at some point in this whole routine, I usually will take my daily allergy pill, I do my nasal spray. You know, these are the parts of life that people just don't talk about. It never makes it in. So I'm steaming my face one last time, and I try to just leave the washcloth over. Really soak it in. And usually by doing that last steam, it takes off whatever it didn't soak in, it opens my pores again, so what's left over can actually make it in there. Last, but by no means least, I am using my La Roche-Posay and Thelios 60. And you guys, I'm 32. Granted, I feel like I've aged 5 years and 5 months because of pandemic stress and car accident pain stress and just generally being a sickly wretch. But my skin still looks kind of okay for my 30s, and I really think the secret to my success is the fact that I have been wearing sunscreen consistently since I was 15 years old. And I think what people need to realize about sunscreen is it's not just something extra. You need to protect your skin. You only get one flesh bag in your lifetime, and unless science comes a very long way in the next few years, this is all you get. And of course, don't forget your neck. All right, it's been about 15 minutes. I've given my sunscreen a little bit of time to soak in. At this point, I'm ready to put my makeup on, which is a whole different video. I'm not gonna do my daily makeup, but I will put on a little bit of lip moisturizer. This is Claren's Hydra Essential Lip Balm, which is probably my favorite right now. I just love Claren's products, in case you couldn't tell. Not sponsored. Again, companies send me stuff, not sponsored. But I love this one. It's just pure and simple and fabulous. My hair's dried a little bit, and this is something that there's always like one curl that's just weird. And at this point in my day, I have emptied, well, almost emptied my pitcher of water that I usually fill up before bed. So I'll drink a little bit of this before bed, and then I'll wake up and try and drink the rest of it during my morning routine. And that way I'm starting the day hydrated, I have a clear head, I've exercised, I've done my chores, I've taken care of my body, I've fed myself at least one nutritious meal, taken my vitamins, taken my medications, and I'm ready for whatever fresh hell might befall us today. You never know these days, always waking up to something new and exciting. So that's my pandemic morning routine, and I hope it's helpful to you. I've had to adjust some things for my pain level and for the pandemic, and we're all just sort of in flux right now, but I'm doing the best that I can to take care of myself while also staying home and flattening the curve. We are still in the middle of a pandemic, guys, and you wouldn't know it from looking at social media. A lot of people are getting really complacent, and it's just gonna perpetuate the problem. So I hope that we can band together. I've adjusted my lifestyle, I mean my entire life, to stay home as much as possible, and I hope that you can do the same while also finding ways to stay healthy. Thanks for watching.